Hey everyone, xGSFxAnthony here. Today I kind of got a bit different of a video to show you that is somewhat gaming related. I'm going to show everyone my Resident Evil collection. When this collection first started, I originally wanted it to be like just based off the video games. But as I got that close to completion, I kind of started going off. I don't have like no action figures or anything like that. I don't want to have any of those either because I can't really do anything with those. I like the games because I can play them and everything. So just to show it off real quick, I have a Resident Evil wallet. It's actually the wallet I use. I got it off eBay. I don't know, it was like $10 or so, somewhere around there. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start showing my collection. I got both Resident Evil Zeros, both the Wii and GameCube version. I'm actually gonna go in the order of kind of their appearance, and I gotta have a lot of room since it's pretty big. I have the long box original version of Resident Evil 1, the Sega Saturn version of Resident Evil 1, the green label of Director's Cut, the fat case version of Director's Cut, it is Director's Cut. The original, the plastic case of Resident Evil. And then this is just an extra copy I have of Director's Cut. It's not in its original case. But it was a kind of a throw-in of a deal I got off eBay. So that's basically, I hope I got one more Resident Evil 1, which is the Deadly Silence for the DS. So that's it for like the original one. But I also have both of the remake versions of it, which is the GameCube and the one for the Wii. I'm quickly going to run out of space over here. I have nowhere to put all this. Now on the Resident Evil 2, I have this, which is the game.com or whatever that is. It's kind of a black and white version of Resident Evil. In case you don't know what this is, because I didn't know what it was till I actually decided to start completing my collection. This is a very cheap version. It's like $2. But then I got the Resident Evil 2 for the GameCube, the non-DualShock version of the dual case, the single case with the flip over, with that, of Resident Evil 2. And I also have the Dreamcast version of Resident Evil 2. And I actually forgot to get it. Let me go grab it really quick. And here is the DualShock version of Resident Evil 2, which I've gotten so used to gaming nowadays, I have to play this version. I can play the GameCube, but I cannot play the non-DualShock version. It's impossible. I must use an analog stick to play games now. So that kind of blows. But on the Resident Evil 3, I got Resident Evil 3 for the GameCube, the Resident Evil 3 for the PlayStation that includes the Demo Crisis demo, the Resident Evil 3 that don't include the Dino Crisis demo for the PlayStation, and the Dreamcast version of Resident Evil 3. And that's all of the Resident Evil 3s I have. So get those out of the way. Look at that, running out of room over there. Now on the Code Veronica, I have the original Code Veronica, which is the one without the X, which is actually slightly different from the X version. Just a few cutscenes are in this one that's not in the other one, and vice versa. I have the Europe version, which is X Platinum. The only reason I even have this in my collection is just because it was a throw-in from an eBay purchase. I didn't really care to get it. I'll tell you later which eBay purchase it was thrown in with. I have the Greatest Hits version of Code Veronica. And I also have the non-Greatest Hit version of Code Veronica X. So, that's all I got for the Code Veronicas. Go ahead and try to push these over, make some room. Now, Resident Evil 4s, I have the Wii edition of Resident Evil 4. the regular PlayStation 2 version. I have the premium edition of Resident Evil 4, which is the Steelbook and comes with the making of. So I actually like this one a lot. The game's the same, but the Steelbooks, I love them. And then I have the original Resident Evil 4, which is the GameCube version. And even though it's technically not in my collection because it's not a Resident Evil, it's a Biohazard, I'll bring you over here to my PS3, if I can even find it. Right here. I have Biohazard 5 too, but that's not in my collection either. But I have the HD version of Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica, but it's not in my collection because it's a Biohazard. So, I'll just go ahead and show you those, I guess, really quick. So, and then, along with the main story, got Revelation, since this takes place between 4 and 5. Or as I have the case, this is Revelatons. I don't know if you can see it, the glare's probably heavy on it. But it's the mistype case, doubt you'll be able to see it. And then the last game of the main series, I have 2 copies of Resident Evil 5. Just original copies, the Xbox version and the PS3 version. No special edition versions or anything like that. Now on to side stories and stuff that's not necessary. Well, they are canon, some of them are just kind of like remakes. But on the stuff that you really don't have to play to know the story, really. And the first 2 are the Wii versions. The Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles. These are supposedly, well, it's actually been confirmed, coming out in HD. I don't know if going to be downloadable only or if they're going to have a disc along with it, or if they're going to do what the Revival Selection did and only Japan gets a disc. I'm not sure. The next 2 are the Resident Evil Outbreak series. I've actually been wanting an Outbreak 3 to come out, because if you actually played these back in the old days when they had online and it was free and in the United States, because that's where I am, the online was amazing. Next is Operation Raccoon City, which is, if you can hear the music playing in the background, that's actually Raccoon City playing on my TV. And this is the special edition, the Steelbook. Next is Mercenaries 3D. I have to say that this, the game was fun, but compared to Revelations, this game's graphics are just terrible. A lot more work could have been put into this, but they chose not to. I guess it was rushed. There's barely any characters really compared to what it should be. A game based on all mercenaries, I think they should have had every character pretty much in it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and show Survivor. Most people that I know that are decent Resident Evil fans don't even know what this game is. This is a first-person shooter version of Resident Evil. You play as Ark Thompson, who is some guy who apparently knows Leon, although in the main story, this guy really never comes up. Although this is canon, it has something to do with the real story. But you don't have to really play it to understand anything. Now, next is probably the rarest game in the collection. Definitely probably the most expensive is Resident Evil Gaiden. This is another game that I didn't even know existed until I actually decided to put my collection together. The plastic's still on it. I don't know, I bought it that way. I just decided to never take it out. And it's pretty much brand new. I actually got everything in the box, and I got it for an amazing price, so I was pretty happy that I got it. And it's kind of, I don't even really know how to explain this. Kind of just you can run into the zombie, and if you run into it or the monster, a bar just kind of slides across the bottom of the screen. You gotta click to shoot when the bar's in front of the monster. And I'll tell you right now, you want a Resident Evil challenge? Play this. This game is very hard. The ammo, there's barely any ammo in it. It doesn't really tell you what to do. It's very challenging. Then there's Resident Evil Dead Aim. This game is another first-person shooter, but it's only first-person while you're shooting. You run around just as you would in It's been forever since I played it. I want to say you kind of run around, kind of like Resident Evil 4, but more zoomed out. And then when you go to shoot, you go into a first-person mode. Other than that, this game is short. I actually thought it was actually pretty fun. But, I don't know. It was just too short. And then, supposedly you unlock her story after you beat it, which when I played it, it's just the exact same story as him. It doesn't change at all. You're just playing as her, which was disappointing. Now this next game is a game that's not even released in the United States. Is Survivor 2, which is a Code Veronica, a first-person shooter of Code Veronica. I haven't ever got to play this game due to the fact that I don't have a PAL PS2 or anybody that has one, so I have not played this game before. I know if I do get the chance to play this game, I'm definitely going to record it, just because there's probably not very many like recordings of it, because it probably is really bad. But that's it for the... Well, actually, I got one more game. It's just a copy of the other games, though, and that's the Resident Evil Essentials bundle. It's still technically brand new. I took the plastic off the top of the case, but all 3 games in it are still in their plastic wrap, so none of them have been open. I mean, not like it really makes the collection worth any more money. Well, the Essentials bundle. Put these back in the box if I can. Alright, we're good with that. I just crushed the box trying to set it on top. Now, the movies, I'm not a big fan of the movies, but I actually did end up throwing it in my collection, and me moving this camera everywhere. You've probably seen the whole thing by now if you wanted to pause it or whatever. But I have the first 2 Resident Evils on UMD, which is the movie version for the PSP. And then I have the Steelbook special editions of Resident Evil, the first one, Apocalypse, and Degeneration. These were like a limited time thing at Walmart. Eventually I'll get around to getting the rest of the movies, since they all do have one. But the movies aren't a big deal to me. I mostly am worried about getting the games. Okay, now to kind of go along with the games, I do have a bunch of the strategy guides. I have the Resident Evil 2 strategy guide. I mean, I know there's many different versions of these strategy guides. I don't even believe this is the official one, but it was cheap, so I ended up just snagging that while I could. I have the Resident Evil Outbreak strategy guide, which, as you can see, is super beat up. So was the Resident Evil 2 one. But it's not like I use them anyway. They just kind of just chill there, just to make my collection look better. I have the Resident Evil 0 strategy guide. Try to get these 2 together, so I'll put that one to the side for now. The Code Veronica X strategy guide. So, got the calendar for Resident Evil 5 that came with the special edition strategy guide for Resident Evil 5. And I also got the normal strategy guide for Resident Evil 5. So, put these over there. Got Resident Evil Director's Cut strategy guide. Apparently they had to put that it supports DualShock on it, even though I don't think this book right here supports DualShock. I have the strategy guide for the remake of Resident Evil 1. And then I have strategy guide for Operation Raccoon City, which is the newest Resident Evil to come out. And then this, although it has really, I mean, it has stuff to do with the game, but no like kind of guide or anything, is I have the original Resident Evil Archives book. I did order the Archives 2 book, I just haven't received it yet. But this is the original one that goes through, I don't know, I want to say it goes through 0 as well. But it goes through for sure 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica. And yep, it does go through 0 as well. This is a pretty expensive book, so I cherish it quite a lot. Not sure when it came out. It came out in 2005. Guarantee you can't see that. So that's all I got for those kind of books, but I also have the novels, which I'm missing the last novel for the game, like books. I have the first book, which is 0 Hour, it goes through, and is the basically Resident Evil 0 book version. Then I have the second book, which is Umbrella Conspiracy, which is the Resident Evil 1 version of the book. Then the third book is Calibans Cove. I know like they kind of are going to be out of order from what I'm saying. That's because the 0 book has 0 on it. But this has nothing to do with any of the games exactly. It's kind of like a side story of Rebecca teaming up with some other stars. No, I don't think they're stars. It's been too long since I read it. But teaming up with some people and attacking an Umbrella facility. The fourth book is City of the Dead, which is pretty much the Resident Evil 2 version of the book. I said that wrong, but you know what I meant. I have no idea what the heck this thing is. It just fell out the freaking book. Then I have Underworld, which is like everybody from like the past books. Like the Leon, Claire, Rebecca, and all the people she teamed up with in the Calibans Cove book. They're all in this, and they are attacking Umbrella facility together. So this is another one that has no game based off of it. And then the last one I have is Nemesis, which hopefully you know what this one is based off of, which is Resident Evil 3. I'm missing the Code Veronica book, which is the one I'm missing, and the books on the movies, but I'm not too big on caring to get those. The last thing I want to show you, which is also not really game related other than the stuff that's in it, is the Resident Evil deck building game. A lot of people probably don't know what this is, but it's kind of almost like a board game is the way you would kind of play it. And like you just like go through, you pick your characters, you got to buy stuff from the shop, and you have to fight the monsters in the mansion. Inside of this is every single expansion, even though it was the Nightmare box. I have every expansion that came for it, along with a lot of the promo cards. I don't have every promo card, but I'm missing just the last set of promos and the one Wesker that is supposedly called the Suicide Wesker, if you know about this game. I also have something for this game. 2 things, actually. I'm going to go ahead and show you the thing that's not for this game first, which is one of these mats that I created it. I cropped everybody out. I did all these pictures myself and put them onto this mat. And then paid for somebody to make it. I used this mat as my Yu-Gi-Oh mat when I played Yu-Gi-Oh. The next 2 mats I have are actually for this game. I have the mat that came with Alliance, which is right here. Has Chris and Jill on it. And it has like the zone, so you know where to put some of the stuff. Like see, the mansion would go there. Talks about where you put the ammo, the herbs, stuff like that. This is definitely my favorite mat. I'm a big fan of Jill, and I just think that picture is really sweet. This other mat was given to me by a friend of mine when I used to go to the card shop and play, which was one of the mats that came with Infection. There was also another mat that came with it, though. But it basically just has 3 Crimson Head zombies on it. This one doesn't have the zones telling you where anything goes. So you kind of got to know where stuff goes to play this on this mat, or just put it wherever. It really doesn't matter where you put the stuff. About this game, I'm going to try to get together with David, and me and him will just play a 1v1 game, just to kind of show everybody what it's like. The rules we play by are a little different than the real rules, so we'll go ahead and show everybody the way that we play it, because we actually think it's really fun. We play pretty much close to the real rules, just slightly different. But that's actually it. That's all I have for my Resident Evil collection. If you have like one of the games that I was missing, I mean, I know there's quite a few I'm still missing. I mean, I haven't really been building it up lately. Been more worried about other stuff. But if you have one of the ones that I'm missing and you want to get rid of it, you can go ahead and send me a message if you have like an eBay account, and we can maybe work something out, and I might buy it off you. No promises, though. And I'm not trying to use this to buy them. I'm just saying if you have it, I might buy it. So that's all. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe. I'll have more gameplay videos coming out in the future. I'm holding off right now. I mean, I got the Operation Raccoon City to upload still, but I'm trying to get an HD PVR, and I'm probably about to be having one. I've been using the Dazzle up until this time. I also have videos coming out with tutorials on how to do the Dazzle, how I edit my videos, because I've been told they're actually good quality for a Dazzle. And I'm so losing my voice right now, I have no idea why. But, yep, that's all. So, hopefully you subscribe, and then hopefully I'll see you when I upload my next video.